flashback. Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our SaVeg take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the SaVeg podcast.
Hello. How you doing? How you going?
Oh my God.
I always start off the episodes like this. Daniel, what are you doing with that
should be
mod
your new,
of yours?
That should be your new thing, you know?
It's definitely not new.
It's your existing.
We've been annoying people with these accents since the beginning of this podcast.
Hello.
Hello. And I would like to say, for the record, okay?
Okay, what are you saying for the record?
You know how nowadays everyone is saying, I swear to God, I came up with this.
Okay, sure, yeah.
I was like, why? Since the beginning of time, I've asked you, and I remember saying this to you many years ago. Mm-hmm. I was like, why do Australians swallow their words? Right?
Swallow their R's.
Yeah, they like to swallow. You know, it's like everything's a swallow. And now everyone's like, oh, Australians swallow the words. I started it.
You know what, Rose? I really think that you might need to seek help for your delusion. I think this is the second thing this week where you've been highly delusional.
We're not talking about the first thing.
No. I think our audience would agree.
That I'm deluded. Mm-hmm. No, but you know, one of those things, it's those things that you think in my head, I came up with it because nobody else said it to me. Yeah. So I did come up with it in my head.
I mean, and that's to be fair, Rose, to give you a little credit, you're the person that I heard it from.
Exactly.
Where you're like, why do Australians swallow?
This is before, TikTokers started talking about swallowing their words,
I thought you were going to talk about swallowing something
That's
else.
a different type of swallowing.
Oh, God damn.
So I came up with it.
Yep.
Okay. And then other people came up with it.
You heard it here first,
but it was my
guys.
original thought.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. And same with Quarantine 15. Remember that?
Okay.
Remember? This, I definitely, again, it came out in different ways.
Yeah.
But when I came up with it, it was all from my head.
Yeah.
I did not read it anywhere else.
Speaking of this, though, you know what's kind of weird? Do you remember when there was like rumors that went around as children? Like, for example, like one of the big scandals with like Marilyn Manson got his like ribs taken out so that he could like, suck himself.
Well, I never heard that.
What? Okay, well, other than Rose.
I'm not very, up to date with my Marilyn Manson knowledge.
No, like this is like old news. This was like in junior high or something.
Okay, again, I've never been, much of a Marilyn Manson news follower.
Do you think I was?
I don't know. I've never heard of that. So he's a very strange man.
He is. No, but the point I was getting at this, minus Rose, who's just like expelled that kind of theory. But it was interesting because I like talked to people like, from Ontario and from other provinces. And like it randomly came up in conversation. And we were like, how did we all like, maybe that's a bad example, but there'd be like some
No. We're going back to the Marilyn Manson example.
We will.
You mean everyone knew or thought that, is it true? Is it true?
I don't know. But I'm just using this. Okay, this is a bad example. I'm gonna like just take back everything because Rose, you're just like you're not going with this story with me.
I'm too focused on Marilyn Manson.
I know. So basically, like what I was meaning is like little random stories where it's like, I don't know, Sierra. There was like a scandal where they're like Sierra's a trans man or something. Like random shit like this. And it was like before the internet was really big, before smartphones, before TikTok, before Instagram, and we're like, how did we all hear this story or like somehow like,
well,
do you know what I mean?
To be fair, internet was big when it started becoming big when we were in elementary. So already your theory, the internet was not big.
Okay, anyway,
wrong.
This conversation's
done. It was
done.
through the internet, basically.
This conversation's done. I'm over it. Moving on. Let's go to the stories.
It was through the internet, or it could have been magazines before internet. But when you were in high school, internet was most definitely big.
Well, yeah, in high school, but I'm meaning more like junior high,
well, when
maybe
was
elementary.
Marilyn Manson story?
I think that was junior high, or maybe even elementary.
Still big in junior high.
Okay, anyway.
You gonna kill me?
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn, Daniel gonna kill me.
So if there's any,
He's had it with me.
If there's a murder documentary.
Well,
speaking of speaking of had it with things, guys.
Okay, guys. So our new Patreon exclusive, which by the way, we have no new patrons this year, which means nobody gets a shout out.
This month.
Okay.
This week.
Not this year. This week.
Yes.
Okay. So usually we do a Patreon shout out. So if you want to get your name shouted out next week, make sure you subscribe to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/the SaVeg podcast. You get bonus episodes every month, which we'll talk about in a second.
Yep.
And you get every week's content a week before everyone else. Okay. And not you know what I mean? Every episode a week before everyone else. And you get ad-free. You get ad-free content. Okay. And one day we're going to have to get sponsors, guys. Like, what the fuck's going on?
I know.
We're just doing this shit for free.
Oh, damn.
Well, other than the Patrons.
Yeah.
So, this month's Patreon exclusive, because I don't have an independent idea, apparently, came up with I found these ladies on
Instagram. No, TikTok.
TikTok, of course, because apparently I'm not on Instagram anymore. And they are these middle-aged ladies that have a podcast called I've Had It, and I've been listening to it.
And you love it.
And I'm obsessed. They are just the most cynical old ladies that I'm just like.
So basically, you see yourself in them in like 15 years.
Right now.
Yeah.
It's just less acceptable for me to be so hateful right now.
Yeah.
But like, I feel as though when you're older, people just kind of accept that you're just cynical.
And bitter.
Exactly.
Not bitter.
They're not bitter. They're just hilarious, essentially. Okay. But they complain about almost everything under the sun. It is absolutely hilarious. So we decided to copy that format for our Patreon exclusive of April.
Yes.
And was it not the best thing ever?
It was. We just basically talked about everything that we've had it with, and we've had it with a lot of things.
Oh, I mean, I have more of a list, so maybe next month we can carry on this conversation.
Carry on.
Because I want to talk more about shit that I've had it with.
Yes.
So anyways.
I love that.
So there's that. Anyway, shall we jump into the stories?
We shall. We're going to dive right in. Okay?
we're diving right in.
So the first story I want to talk about is a fellow YouTube creator, Rose, content creator. Now, a lot of these like prank channels get a lot of backlash anyway, but I actually saw this video and it was horrendous. And it's this YouTuber, I guess his name, he's a smaller content creator. His name is Trevor Sellers. Trevin Sellers. And basically he goes into the parking lot and there was like a homeless man in there and asked the man if he wanted a meal before buying one at Wendy's, pretending to offer it to him, and then literally ate it in front of him.
Oh my God.
And as he was eating it, he was like, this is so good, all this stuff, and then just like walked away.
Why did the homeless man not punch him in the face?
I know. I'm like, what the actual fuck?
Oh my God.
But like also like on a societal level, first of all, who are you? Like that's so disrespectful.
Is he a teenager?
He's not that old, I don't think. He's like, but I don't think he's a teen.
It says, in a post on Monday responding to the outrage, Sellers claimed the man who appeared in the video was a friend and that the entire video was scripted. Of course it was scripted.
Yeah, now it's scripted.
The
viewers were not satisfied with the explanation. And people were like, even if it was scripted, like, and it was staged, what the fuck is even the purpose of that video?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you're trying to like
what is the purpose? You're trying to make homeless people look bad.
Well, and also, if you think about it, it's like if he did that, like even if it was a skit,
it does look like a skit, to be honest. But still, I don't know what's worse. I mean, people will do anything nowadays for clout, so it's not too surprising.
It's just like,
I know.
And then this particular YouTuber has accrued a small following of people in the last year, posting videos of him harassing homeless people and members of the public. Oh my
God. Like, why? And who's watching this?
I know. This is another thing. I think part of it, okay, so there's like two sides to this story. Like, and this is, I feel like with a lot of these like YouTuber, like special channels, like number one, what is the content creator thinking and what is wrong with them? Mm-hmm. And then number two, though, is the people watching it and is subscribing to his channel for that content. Yeah. You're promoting him doing that.
He has 30,000 followers. That's not too little. Like, I know. It's little in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
But 30,000 is a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know? Like, what the fuck?
It's like, oh, sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm so yawny. God damn.
We just started. Daniel, you want to go to sleep? Should I carry this by myself?
I'll be tired. You want to continue the podcast by yourself, Roses? I'll be tired.
Would it be a first of me to carrying this podcast on my shoulders?
What did I say, guys? Delusion. Honestly, Rose, there's so many facts and things that you spew out that I'm just like, wow, you know? But yeah, anyway, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on this. I personally think it's disgusting. Yeah. Even if it was a skit, like, what are you trying to do?
It's stupid.
I really think, like, there's just so much of this, like, people just trying to get famous.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And doing whatever they can to, like, get that, to try to get that, like, small level of fame, and, like, trying to do, like, random shit like this. And, like, I'm like, just why?
I don't know. Well, I think people are just bored and wanting to get famous, and I don't know, at other people's expense. Speaking of which, this reminds me of a video I saw on TikTok. Of course. My favorite platform.
As if we don't spend enough time on TikTok.
Oh, goddamn. So there's this girl that so I think she already has a relatively big TikTok following, but she kind of like went viral for the wrong reasons.
Oh God. Because the reasons you don't want to go viral.
Exactly. So she is Asian. Okay. I think she's either Vietnamese or Chinese, and she is British as well. So she has like a, very posh sounding British accent. And she posted this TikTok of her. And like, it really also annoys me when people just feel the need to like film every single potentially, negative interaction you might have with somebody. Yeah, I get it. Some people should be maybe exposed. And, sometimes some good can come out of that, right?
Yeah.
Like people that are extremely, behaving badly in public.
But it has gotten extreme.
It's gotten extreme where people are just filming everything and anything.
Yeah.
So this woman is, and again, also people just being overly sensitive about every single fucking thing.
Yeah.
So she's Asian. She's in London or something. She's in an Uber and she starts filming herself. I mean, to be fair, she didn't show the person that she was filming, but basically she was filming herself talking to the Uber driver. And she's basically like, I'm really offended. She basically says something like, I'm really offended because you said something along the lines of, Asian people look the same or something along those lines.
Oh, God.
And the guy who's clearly English is not his first language. He's trying to explain. He's like, no, that's not really what I meant. My girlfriend's Chinese. I really like Asian people, blah, blah, blah. And then she just like keeps going like, I would just like to get off here, please, because blah, blah, blah. And it just kind of like went into a place that it shouldn't have gone to. Yeah. And then he starts like apologizing and feeling really bad. He's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to do this. And he's like, I have a daughter. Like, don't report me or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, I just want to get off. I feel very uncomfortable being in this Uber. I'm like, do you really feel that uncomfortable at being in this Uber?
Yeah.
And is it slightly racist to say, first of all, I don't think he said all Asian people look the same. I think he was probably just being like, I don't know. Like, and to be fair, of course, to a non-Asian, Asian people are going to look more similar to each other than white people. If you're a white person,
it's like
right?
It's like when you tell me all white people look the same. So
I never said that.
I've heard it a few times.
My friends have said that. So I have friends that exclusively hang out with Asian people, and they will tell me that all white people look the same. Okay, but Asian people are also racist as fuck.
Friends.
Excuse me. I don't say that. I do not say that, people. Although, if you're like, a bunch of blonde ass white people, then yeah, maybe y'all look the same. You know what I mean?
But this is the thing. So if you want to go to Scandinavia, like Norway or something, if you're non-Norwegian,
they're genetically similar.
Yeah, and you'll think, oh, everyone in Norway looks the same. But if you're Norwegian, you're like, everybody looks very different here.
Exactly. So even like, I understand if people think Korean people look the same. And to be fair, a lot of Korean people do look the same because they all get the same plastic surgery. Yeah. But it makes sense if you actually logically think about it, but it's like one of those things you're not supposed to ever say.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, again, we're so like, I don't know.
For example, like I think one example is like you right away would probably know if someone's Korean, right? Like you would have a good inkling. Whereas for someone like me,
you can't tell.
Well, no, I might know. I might say, oh, that person, they look Korean. But then sometimes it might be like, oh, I get like mixed, you know what I mean? Like I'm not as like confident in my choice. Exactly. You know what I mean? Whereas you'd be like,
God damn.
Please. Whereas you would be confident in your choices. You'd say, that'd be a Korean person.
I might be more confident than you, yes. But yeah, so anyways, But then this kind of like caused backlash. So it did not get the response that she expected. This is another thing, guys. Okay. You don't need to be posting everything. And again, he apologized.
Yeah.
What do you want him to do?
Yeah.
You know,
what were people saying? Were they like,
people are like, why you're exaggerating? So sometimes the faith in humanity comes back a little bit because I'm like, okay, because this seems like an over exaggeration. Especially
if he's like apologizing. He's like, I didn't mean it that way. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, please don't take it this way. And she's like, no, I feel uncomfortable. Get me out of this Uber right now. It's like, come on, guys.
It's like, have you been waiting for this moment for your whole life? Have you been waiting for this interaction to film it? And I get it. Maybe she's British and she's Asian. I feel like British people are probably a little bit racist toward Asian people. That's my guess.
You've experienced that firsthand.
I've definitely experienced it. But I'm also like, I have the ability. Here's the thing. Okay. At the end of the day, and I know that racism is bad, of course, but sometimes just fucking move on. Okay. Yeah. At the end of the day, someone says, and again, it's obviously depending on how bad the situation is. Okay. Yeah. Obviously, a certain level of disrespect, you can of course say things back. Yeah. But like, don't let it just fester and ruin your entire livelihood because somebody said some stupid comment.
Well, exactly. Like, this is the thing. It's like you give those people power if you let it get to you. Like, I mean, it's the same. Sometimes it's easier said than done and stuff. But like, yeah, you just got to try to move past it.
I just also feel like, we have the privilege of growing up in a multicultural society, but a lot of people don't. Yeah. So I think that it's only fair for us to give them a little bit of, maybe direction or understanding.
But it's like that common, well, not common thing. And again, I'm not excusing racism or anything like that.
Nobody's excusing racism.
But like, again, when I travel and I go to some places that are more unicultural, yeah, it's like I stand out, people stare at me, and
they take pictures.
Sometimes they give me their child to hold and take a picture. Like, random shit happens. Yes. And like, some people, like, they might say comments or say something that could be perceived as a little bit racist. Right. But then I have to understand, like, they're not used to seeing like a white person, for example, or maybe there's like limited exposure in their culture, right? Like, so you kind of have to understand people's background as well. Yes. Like,
although with white people would say that it's a little bit different because in the hierarchy of races, white people are at the top. Well, so even if they were being racist, it would be in like a not positive racist, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I get what you're saying. I know where you're going with this. And I can't remember. I always hear a famous expression. I don't know if it was from you, Rose, or someone else, but like you basically, you can't be racist to a white person.
Well, I don't. A lot of people believe that. No, I don't agree. I don't agree with that. Yeah. But a lot of people believe that.
I do think that there's a certain privilege and entitlement, though. Like, yes. For example, like when I was traveling in like Asia and stuff, it's like,
it's not like they're looking down at you. They're more like fascinated by you.
Yeah. They're like, whoa.
Whereas if you're a black person traveling in Asia, I think it'd be a very different story.
Yeah, that's true.
But it also depends on, because there's like some. I've seen some TikToks where it's like a really beautiful black woman and she's like traveling somewhere where it's like, again, not many black people are around and people are just like looking at her in awe. And it's like, so it also depends on like, there's a little bit of racism there, a little bit of shallowness. Yeah. Beauty standards are still there.
Yeah. Well, that's like when I was traveling, I think it was through Central America, and I met this one black girl, and she was beautiful, like, stunning. And like, again, there wasn't that many, certain parts obviously, but like where we were, there wasn't many black people. Yeah. And honestly, the locals were like obsessed, but like in a positive way. Because she was literally stunning. Yes. Yeah. So I'm like,
they're probably like, oh my God, you look like an actress. Insert black actress's name here.
I know they get. I'm pretty sure one of the locals referred to her as black chocolate or something.
Oh God damn.
Or like some kind of delicious chocolate.
Yeah. But like, imagine if she wasn't, necessarily attractive.
Maybe. Yeah.
That would have gone a different way.
Yeah, but they say that and this sucks, but this is like societal thing, is like there is beauty standard, and even if you take, like, not even taking race out of it, but just in general, like people that get interviews, all this kind of stuff, unfortunately there's that standard where if you're a bit more attractive, you're more likely to get the job, to get
absolutely.
And it is sad, but I mean, it's a reality.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just so wild as hell.
Basically,
roses.
We got to keep looking hot forever. Mm-hmm. it's a tough laugh.
Oh God damn.
Okay, what be next?
God damn. So the other story that I wanted to talk about, it's like pretty topical. So I guess the UN, the United Nations Security Council, this Monday. So that was it this? It must have been today.
Was it today?
Oh no, last week.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So this happened last week. So I guess there was a meeting, and it was run by It was hosted by Moscow's top diplomat. I'm not going to be able to say his name because I'm going to be really terrible at this. Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov. Yeah.
That's not too difficult.
No.
Although I'm probably saying it wrong, but.
And he was in charge of the meeting, and the meeting was titled, ironically, Maintenance of International Peace and Security.
Oh, no.
Because Russia currently holds a rotating presidency of the Security Council. So I think basically, like, again, I don't fully know how the UN works, but I think that countries get like rotating seats and stuff.
Okay.
So I guess Russia's still obviously part of it. They said the last time Russia presided over the Security Council was back in February 2022 when it launched its invasion in the Ukraine. Now, the reason this is in the news right now is, I guess, as you know, as we would expect, there has been a lot of flashback.
Daniel, remind me what your first language is.
British English.
So what does lashback mean in British English?
It means it's kind of similar, but quite aggressive backlash. That's what it is. So lashback is like
lashback.
Yeah.
So she's got some lashback or backlash.
Mm-hmm. Backlash. So basically, obviously, a lot of the other members of the UN, like UN ambassadors for, US, UK, Switzerland, all used their speeches at the meeting to condemn Russia's invasion. They were like obviously giving him a hard time. Will this change anything? I don't know. I'm surprised that they're still an active member in the UN. You know what I mean? Like, given everything that's going on, yeah. Because like countries are
don't they kick them out?
You
can get like sanctioned by the UN or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about the UN, by the way.
I know. We should know more.
But they're such a powerful country that I think it's tough.
This is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Anyway, goddamn. Have you been paying attention to the war? I know shit.
Oh, God, guys. I really should know more of what's going on.
I really don't know anything.
All I know is that it was essentially an unprovoked attack.
Right.
And they're currently trying to continually trying to invade Ukraine.
Well, they are invading Ukraine.
Yeah, well, they are. Yeah.
Ugh.
So, and I know that like globally, there's been a lot of like economic sanctions and stuff on Russia. So,
but clearly, it hasn't done anything because it's still going on.
I know. I just don't get like, guys, like why
can't we just get along?
I know. I'm like, why can't we get along? Like,
because people suck.
I know.
We all suck.
This is true.
Because we're related to chimpanzees.
Chimpanzees.
Who are vicious.
They'd be vicious as all hell in tarnation.
Anyways, so Russia be Russian.
Mm-hmm. I'll be Russian.
Okay.
God damn.
All right. What's the next story?
You want to talk about one of your stories?
Let's see. What do I got?
And then I'll go to my next one after years.
Let's say here.
You had an interesting one about
Okay. So I don't know if this is a real story, but I saw this somewhere.
On TikTok.
No, this was on YouTube, but so this is an article by the Washington Post, so maybe it is a real story. Okay. So it says, "Welcome to the age of automated dating." Multiple startups are building AI tools for romantic connections.
So hang on a second though. Is this like, do you remember when we talked about that Japanese software where it's like rent a girl, not rent a girlfriend?
It's a little bit different.
Okay.
So from what I hear, it's basically, let's say you match somebody on Hinge, Tinder, whatever. So like you're really matching with somebody.
Yeah.
But you know how we complain about talking to these people? We're like, fuck my life. Like, don't want to have this small talk. Just get me to the fucking, it's one of my least favorite things. It's like I have to fucking like psych myself up to respond to these motherfuckers.
You have to put in effort.
Excuse me, Daniel. Okay, like tell me I'm not the only one, guys.
No, it's true.
Talking to some of these people, first of all, is like pulling teeth.
It's brutal. Honestly, guys, it has gotten so bad out there.
You complain about this.
I know it's true. Like, honestly, like me and Rose were like talking about this just the other day, and it's like, I don't understand where people have lost the ability to communicate. Like, we literally will ask questions like, how's your week been? And a response will be, great. Do you not want to know about me? Do you not going to ask any questions?
Like,
is the conversation over?
How long have you lived here? 5 years.
That's it. Like,
I'm sorry. What am I in the like? What is going on?
It shouldn't be this hard.
And also, I mean, to be fair, I'm also annoying. on these apps.
You're not.
As I do not respond. Anyway, so because I hate small talk in general, but in person, I can kind of deal with it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I do not like small talk with people I have not met over the internet, through chat, through fucking text. That is my least favorite. If some guy asks me how my day is, I want to crawl into a little space and die.
So, Rose, how's your day been today?
God damn it, Daniel. So anyways, okay. So, so listen to this, okay? Riz, which is meant to function as a digital wingman, helps users come up with killer opening lines and responses to potential matches. The company behind it is just one of many startups trying to transform romance through artificial intelligence by optimizing and automating online dating, now one of the primary ways by which people find romantic connections. So, first of all, have you heard of the term Riz?
No.
It's a new Gen Z term, Daniel. What do you think it means?
Riz.
I found this the other day. I did not know until like a few weeks ago.
Is it like when you, I don't know, meet someone on a dating app?
No, it's like a way of like it's an adjective. No, it's a anyway, it's
Is it a noun? Is it an adjective? Is it a verb?
Let's see.
Rose, you'd be killing me.
So, Riz actually comes from the word charisma.
Oh, so that person's got Riz.
Yeah, so it's like charisma, but shortened, I guess.
Oh my God.
So apparently in southern Baltimore, they've started to shorten it to Rizma and then to Riz. So now all the Gen Z kids are calling it Riz. So this dating app is called Riz. So because it gives you Riz.
But then I'm like, okay, guys, if I match with someone and we both have this Riz app.
Oh my God, so you're just going to be talking.
So the AI just talks to each other. So I don't even get involved. I mean, do I even need to get involved in swiping anymore?
Oh God, this is my dream. You know how we've always, here's the thing. I always talk about this. This needs to be a service. It probably is a service.
Matchmaker.
Yeah. But like people on these apps, like doing the apps for you.
Yeah.
Like it's an actual service. I did,
You could probably hire someone for that.
I would like to say I have had a friend taking over, not him, taking over my dating app.
And how did that go, Rose?
It was horrific. Never again do I trust.
Rose would always open her app and she would be like...
He was another gay man. I do not trust gay men on my straight dating app. Thank you.
No. Rose like opened it up and she was like, what the fuck? I did not mean to match with this person.
He was just matching guys that he wanted to fucking date. Okay? Yeah. So
that's
listen,
what you would normally...
love gay men, but never trust them on your dating app. Mm-hmm. Anyways, so now I guess... This is a new thing. Would you
how
use
does it work? So, like, does it take over your app for you? And
I think like it kind of. I think you may be able to connect. I'm not sure exactly. You may be able to connect it to the app, and it'll just like auto generate. I don't know.
But then, how do you know? Like, does it automatically populate in your calendar when you have a date? Then too, like, it will just be like, "Loop, Saturday, Rose is going out with Steven."
Maybe I'm sure you can like. Have you ever used the AI stuff? Have you ever used ChatGPT? It's actually like fucking scary.
Is it?
So. I used it the other day. So I've been kind of playing around with it. Because there's some things that I do think, oh, goddamn. There's some things I think, oh, goddamn. I do think that it can be useful. For example, it can be useful, for example, okay? If you type in, hi, I'm a 32-year-old female that weighs 150 pounds. I'm 5'3". I'd like to go down to 120 pounds. I eat a vegan diet. I want to focus on protein. Come up with a meal plan. In seconds, Daniel, it will give you the meal plan for however many days you put it and what you need to eat. And then you say, can I get the recipe for all these? Populates all the recipes, measurements, everything.
How the fuck does it do that?
It's AI.
So what do you mean? But what app do you use to do that?
It's called ChatGPT.
And what does it do? Link up to Google and then it just like...
I mean, it's like its own platform. So it's like a website. Yeah. You go on it. We can even use it right now. You go on it and then you say, for example, you'd be like, I have a podcast talking about current topics. Which topics should we discuss? In seconds, it will just pull up random shit, point by point.
I want to try it on your phone after this. I want to try it on your phone, Rose. It sounds
scary,
so cool.
But it's also really fucking cool. But also, it's kind of scary.
AI is getting really weird, though. Like right now.
Also, this is one thing I'm going to use it for sure. So one thing I absolutely hate is writing recipe cards. So like when I come up with recipes, right? So because normally I just cook like a normal person. Okay. But because what I do for a living, I make recipes. So I have to write down the instructions for the recipes.
The measurements,
yes.
the how to do it.
So measurements, there's no way around it. Obviously, I'm going to have to come up with it because, I'm making the recipes. But later, so what I do is I'll like come up, I'll do the measurements, I'll write that down. And then I'll make the thing, I'll film it. And then after I film it, and then I like do like a voiceover based on, what I filmed. But I usually don't write down the instructions until after the voiceover and after I've seen the video. I just do the action first, and then I say, this is what I did.
Yeah.
But now what I do is currently I write down what I want to say for the voiceover, and then I say the voiceover. But now what I can do is take that voiceover, my notes for the voiceover, copy and paste it, and say, please make this into recipe instructions. Point by point, it does it. God damn.
That is fucking crazy.
Who need an assistant when I got ChatGPT?
God damn, that's so weird.
It's kind of weird. And you can also be like, can you please write a blog post on how to go vegan? It'll write a motherfucking blog post, and you can be very specific. And then, of course, you got to tweak it once, Yeah. But it's kind of scary, Daniel.
That is fucking crazy.
Everything's gonna be AI very soon.
Dang.
And there's gonna be no independent thought.
It's like with the AI, like, well, this isn't the exact same thing, but you can do like a celebrity AI. So like you can have that voice, thing where it's like,
that's a problem though.
It is a problem because like I'm not kidding you. What this AI does is it like I can't remember what the app was called, but it would like scan the internet or whatever for this particular person's voice, or it would have like,
information. Yes.
Exactly. Snippets of them pronouncing each of these words. And then from like a certain number of words that person pronounces, you can like make a voice.
Yes.
And so they'll be like, they sound fucking identical, because people were like putting this stuff where like Kanye West would be saying all of this crazy stuff, or like whoever they wanted. And they would do this like AI. Oh my God. You know what else too? This came up on my, I want to say it was on TikTok or something. No, it might have been, maybe it was Instagram. I got this post. I think it was Instagram. I got this post where it was like AI generated.
Okay.
But it was like celebrities if they were different races.
Oh.
So it was like Brad Pitt if he was black.
What?
Yeah, and it was like the trippiest thing I have ever seen. Like,
and were they still good looking?
They were like, it was incredible because you could actually like see like they
looked like themselves.
Yeah, but like in a different race. Like,
I need to see this.
I
want to see Brad Pitt as a black man.
He was a good looking man. Let me tell you. They did Will Smith as a white man.
Oh my God.
It was
what?
I remember coming up to this post guy, and I was like looking through it, and I was like, what?
Oh my God, it's
scary. They did Whoopi Goldberg as a white woman.
What?
I know, and I was just like, what is even
I cannot imagine Whoopi Goldberg as a white woman.
Oprah as well.
God damn.
Yeah, they did Margot Robbie as a black woman.
Any Asians? God damn, apparently there's no other race but white and black.
Oh God dang.
Fucking hell, where are the Latinos and the Asians?
There might have been some in there. I can't remember all the different ones, okay?
I saw one where it was pictures of cheetahs, and it was like, guess which one is AI versus real photography. Could not guess. They looked fucking insane.
This is scary.
It's actually
kind of like a little bit creepy and scary.
No, it's actually scary. Okay, this has been predicted by what's his dude in the wheelchair? What's his name?
Stephen Hawking.
Yes, right? Yeah. He was like, AI is gonna take over.
Well, there's that movie with Will Smith
called AI.
Called AI, and it talks about how like AI gets so smart, and the whole
they're gonna Frankenstein us.
I know, because you know what? Because do you remember that movie? What happens?
I don't remember.
Well, basically, the reason that AI kind of takes over, like it takes control of all the robots and shit, is because they were like, if I remember correctly, they're like, humans are destroying the earth, so we need to like contain them to try to repair some of the damage that they've done.
Oh my God, this is gonna happen.
I know.
This is like, exactly what's happening.
Because they're like, basically, because I guess each of the robots had certain principles, and one of them was like to protect humanity or protect humans, and part of that was like, we need you to like
chill the fuck out and go into this room and do nothing.
Yeah, if I remember correctly. I could be like on a little tangent, guys, but it was fucked. And I just remember being like, at the time, I was like, oh, this could never happen. But as we're seeing like AI and like machine learning, that's like another big thing.
Everything is machine.
It's kind of freaky.
It is. And what's really freaky is that, I mean, the thing is, with all of this advancement in technology, we should come to a point where maybe not all of us have to be working all the time. You know what I mean? But it's never going to come to that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's what is the benefit of having all this if we still have to have a job and work?
Yeah, I mean,
because like, isn't the point to make your life easier?
The question is like, well, what kind of reality is that going to become for us? Do you know what I mean?
But it could be a good reality if we don't have to, for example, do some of the jobs that seem so,
mundane.
Because I always stand by this. I do not believe that everyone should have to be working. I think most jobs out there, especially 9-to-5 jobs, are just bullshit jobs. We're just making jobs to work just to be productive and make money for this system.
Yeah.
Whereas, we don't have to live like this, right? Every other species on this planet does not have jobs.
Yeah.
They might have jobs in their little community to like gather food, but they're not sitting in front of a computer.
Yeah.
God
damn.
Anyway, because like I remember when I worked in an office, and again, not that what I do is like fucking, riveting. Okay. But I'm just working in an office. I'm thinking, God damn, this is such pointless shit. And I'm like, if I left tomorrow, nothing would ever change. Even if this job wasn't filled, I'm not like, nothing's going to be different.
It's because it is because the problem is we live in this capitalistic society. Exactly. So like even with AI and stuff, it might like destroy jobs. It might.
That's the problem.
And then there's going to be no new job creation.
Yes.
And
it's going to actually cause more problems.
Yeah. I mean, there'll be some job creation, but not as much.
Right.
You know
like
what I mean?
If we lived in a system where it was a little bit more of like, what do you call it? Democratic socialist or whatever.
Yeah.
Where, there's higher taxes, but people have, goddamn, you okay? Higher taxes, but people have maybe, a good safety net, whatever, if we lived in that system, all this AI may not be so scary, but we don't really live in that system, right? Yeah. So even if, AI took over all these jobs, it's not like the people that were doing the jobs can just chill. They got to get another job somehow, and it's going to get more competitive because there are going to be less jobs.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
We live in a wild world, bro.
Damn. So anyways, that'd be the AI generate. Well, so would you use Riz to give you some Riz?
I don't think so.
Well, you don't need the Riz, Daniel. You got the Riz.
I'm quite Rizzy.
I might need the Riz.
Well, I just feel like the reason why I wouldn't want to use it is because like I do think it's important to engage in chat yourself. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but, I mean, sometimes I'd rather talk to AI than talk to some of these dudes.
True.
On these goddamn
This is
apps.
very true, but like also I feel like it's a part of the weeding process.
It's true because it really does. It's deceptive, isn't it?
Exactly. Well, and now with Riz, we don't even know if we're talking to the right person or if we're talking to the Riz. And then when we meet them in person, they're a terrible conversationalist.
Oh God, I know, but
that's the risk, Rose.
Well, you like to stay on the apps and chat for quite some time.
I
Daniel.
do not. That is not my desire. Okay.
Yeah, but that may not be your desire, but your actions speak louder than your words.
No,
Daniel.
it's my reality because no one fucking asked me out.
Well, why don't you ask them out?
I do.
When do you ask them out?
Sometimes.
After about 4 weeks of chatting.
Oh my God.
Okay, you chat for way too long. I have a hard and fast rule. Maybe it's not that hard, but
and it's not that fast either.
No. Mine is like I start to lose patience, and I will give. Here's the thing: if I was a good responder, it would be a week max of chatting on these apps. But I'm not a good responder, so I give a guy 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
You
of
also,
this,
yeah, but you.
How are you doing? Meh.
Yeah, but you also have the privilege, Rose,
of what? Daniel?
Of having way more people in the city to be potential matches for me.
Have you seen what's out there?
Have you seen me? That I have. You'll go. Rose was on my Tinder yesterday. She goes. First of all, she sees my radius is 160 kilometers. She's like, "What the fuck? Bring this down to like 20." And then there was like 3 people we swiped through, and then it was out of people in your local area, and you were like, "What the fuck?" I don't understand, Daniel.
I really think you need to be using some LGBT apps. I think these straight apps are not working. You got to go on the LGBT apps. I know you hate them.
No, it's not that I hate them. It's like I'm just like not going to go on Grindr because
there must be an app that's not like Grindr, but it's for like an actual app for dating.
I'm going to have to look into it because I don't think that there necessarily is.
God damn, Daniel. But people do meet on Grindr. I know it's like probably a little bit vulgar.
No. It's not that it's probably a little bit vulgar, okay. Rose. It's like
it's really
insane.
Bad.
Like, I mean, I've gone on there before.
It's a wild, wild west.
It's like literally as soon as I create an account, it's like I'll get like 17 dick pics.
Oh God. You just have to weed them out, Daniel.
Being like, wanna fuck. Well, you know what I mean? Like,
but can you weed them out? Have you met anyone on Grindr?
Like maybe twice.
Was it horrible?
It was okay. It wasn't like great, but it wasn't like...
Some people meet on these apps, and again, it may not be common, but some people actually do meet on these apps and date.
That's very true. I mean, I could try it.
Because clearly these straight apps, apparently none of these gay people there are more gay people in this city than I would like to that is shown on your fucking app.
It is, yeah.
Like, this is why I'm like, I can't believe that you are running out of people. Like, I do not believe it. I think they must be on a gay app. Like, there's no way that you are running out of men on these apps. When you put 160-kilometer radius, what the fuck? Isn't that all the way to goddamn like Alaska or something?
No, it's not to Alaska. It's
it's
to
far.
Red Deer.
Okay. Do you want to date a guy from Red Deer?
No.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I know. Like, fuck.
Goddamn, do we gotta move, Daniel?
Goddamn, to Red Deer.
Just use some Riz. I mean, I may be a subscriber. Not because I'm afraid of chatting with people. Because I'm just sick and tired of it. Okay, what's next?
Oh, goddamn.
Oh, God. So more about how humanity is going to shit.
So apparently...
This is really sad.
I know. I don't fully, like, I need to...
Okay, so the title of this article says, Indiana elementary school employees charged after special needs student allegedly forced to eat his own vomit.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Brown Elementary School former teacher and aide faced felonies after 7-year-old boy handed a spoon, eats his own vomit in the lunchroom. And this is like a special needs kid as well, right? So
God, it makes it like even worse. 100%. Not that it'd be any better if it was anyone else.
So apparently he did this in the lunchroom with a spoon as others watched.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What is wrong with people?
Do you not understand?
How is this even possible?
I don't know.
And
it says they were charged with neglect of a dependent.
That's not neglect. That's like abuse. Like, that's beyond neglect.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like maybe in this article it says they were each charged with failure to report the incident.
What?
Yeah. So
let me see their faces. Let me see these motherfuckers. What the fuck? What the hell? Why does she have such a smart look on her face? How do you, first of all, why are you in this profession is my question. It's crazy.
So according to probable cause affidavit, police established through various interviews and other evidence that Seymour allegedly is said to have told the victim that if he vomited, he would be required to eat what he threw up.
What the fuck? He's 7 years old.
I know.
And why does he need to eat it? Why?
It's so fucked up.
Oh my God. I hate people.
I know.
I hate people.
So like, and
they better be going to jail.
I know.
That's fucked.
It's crazy.
Oh God. Okay, so police cited video of the lunchroom showing the victim seated at the table eating. At some point, the child stands up, appearing to gag on his food. He is then instructed to sit down. After the victim did indeed vomit, one of them allegedly provided the spoon that the child was compelled to use to consume some of his vomit.
Ugh.
That is the most disgusting thing I've ever fucking heard.
Both were seen on video standing on each side of the child while he consumed a portion of the vomit. The child is then required to clean up the remainder of the vomit with paper towels. Like, it's so...
What? How do you do this? Like,
I know.
What is going on in your fucking head?
It's so sad though too, because it's like these are people that are like custodies of people's children. Do you know what I mean? Like they're custodians.
Yeah, but this is scary. It's kind of like when nannies like fucking abuse kids.
Like, you guys remember
nanny cam?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Where they would like grab things and be like wailing on the kid and shit. Like, it's scary.
It's fucking scary.
Yeah. Like, imagine, like, I would just be like nervous to have anybody watch my kids.
That's the thing.
Like, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. So we can't get nannies.
No.
Or fucking take kids to school, apparently.
Oh, God. Like,
God, what is wrong with people?
I don't know.
Why would you be in that profession? Like, genuinely speaking.
Like, because you do have to have, like, I briefly taught in Spain. Well, I wasn't even a real teacher. I was like a teacher's assistant. And, like, you have to have a lot of patience.
Absolutely.
Like, because these kids are... They're lovely, but also they need a lot of attention, and especially like special needs kids. I'm not saying that this kid is from a what's the word, like broken family or anything like that. But like, I was working in one school where it was like a kind of rougher area, right? And those kids, they were so lovely, but they needed like extra attention, right? Because they weren't getting it at home. Aww. They had like some pretty bad like family situations,
right?
Like, one of the girls, it was so sad. I think this was like grade 1 or something. And she something happened with her pencil kit or something, and her pencil broke, and then the teacher was like, and then she just started crying, this poor kid, and the teacher was like, we have to give her some supplies because her parents, like, they can't afford to get her stuff, and like she never has anything. And I was like, oh my God. And she's just like very emotional.
Oh God.
And I was just like, oh my God, like, it's so sad.
Yeah, I know. So people, do not go into this profession
if you're not going to be a good teacher.
Oh my God. But like, that's not even, it's not even, even if you hate kids, you wouldn't do this.
I know.
Right?
This reminds me of like a Miss Trunchbull thing.
Yes. It's worse than Miss Trunchbull.
Yeah.
Actually,
no,
debatable.
She was pretty bad. Locking kids in like a spiked closet.
True.
Like,
and throwing kids out of the window.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
That's so funny.
But that was also fiction. This is reality. What the hell's going on?
But you hear about this kind of stuff all the time.
I know, this is a thing.
Which really,
you know, like, why are you in this profession?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't understand. You have chosen to be in this profession taking care of children.
Yeah.
Like,
and here you are standing over them while they're eating their vomit.
God. I don't. Oh my God.
And the thing is, the kid's special needs as well, so he's probably like a little bit confused, doesn't know what's going on. I was just like, oh my God, like,
it makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope they go to jail. They seem like horrible people.
Yes.
Next, I got a story?
You've got another story for us, Rose, I think.
Let's see what I've got here. Let's see.
Uh-oh. Do you have one or no?
Oh, Steven Crowder.
Oh, shit.
Oh, there is some drama in the conservative world, you guys. Daniel, are you going to pull up a... what are you going to do?
The mic was like falling, and then I don't know when I was trying to...
So, you guys... God damn, Daniel, the mic be falling. Okay, so while Daniel's looking for the article, basically I've been consumed with this content because I love a little bit of conservative infighting, if you will. So, sure. Yeah, you can open any of them. So basically right now, Steven Crowder, huge right-wing YouTuber, who has been very prominent in this conservative space.
We actually talked about him a lot in one episode because who was it that went up against him?
It was Sam Cedar.
Yes. Oh, guys, if you take anything away from this podcast, watch Sam Cedar, Steven Crowder. Because it is fucking hilarious. Because
he was afraid to debate him.
Yeah,
essentially.
Because basically what people are saying is like Steven Crowder, like he isn't a good. Well, he's like picks easy opponents to debate.
Well, they all do.
Yeah, they do. And then Sam Cedar's like a really well educated person that can actually like maybe articulate an argument a bit better. And he kept saying like, Steven, let's have a conversation, let's have a debate, and he just like wouldn't. So then Ethan from
H3 Podcast.
Kibosh is this. He requests to have a debate with Steven Crowder, and of course Steven Crowder's like, "Yep, I'll have a debate with Ethan."
He's not really a debater.
Exactly. He's like, "This is going to be easy," and then he sneaks Sam Cedar into this freaking podcast, and it was amazing.
Steven Crowder freaks out and leaves.
Yep. He just basically like talks over everyone and is like, "Fuck this shit." Anyway, sorry, but that's like a little side note.
That was
know
like
a little bit
maybe
more.
a year ago or so, and now Steven Crowder. This is a whole new bag of what's the term? Whole new
can of worms.
There you go. So Steven Crowder. So recently, so we have to backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
So maybe a couple months ago, Steven Crowder comes out this random ass video. He is, mind you, a huge YouTube channel.
Yeah.
He's got millions of followers. What the fuck is wrong with humanity?
Why?
Millions of followers. He has this huge YouTube channel, and he's been talking to the Daily Wire, which is, I think, Ben Shapiro's company. At least, I don't know if Ben Shapiro owns the company, but he's definitely a prominent figure in this company. Okay. So Daily Wire is another huge conservative media, whatever. Okay. So they were speaking to each other about signing Steven Crowder into the Daily Wire network. Okay. And Steven Crowder, I guess, was not happy with the contract, and he was calling it like a slave contract.
Like,
do you know any of this?
Money. No, I didn't see it.
The contract was $50 million over 3 years.
Wow, slave labor, I would say, at its best.
Exactly. So then he made this entire video talking about how, like, oh my God, they are, big conservative companies are trying to take all the money, like blah, 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 or whatever the fuck they were saying.
Is Ben Shapiro, is he bigger than Steven Crowder? Or like on par?
I guess the company Daily Wire is bigger.
Daily Wire is huge.
Yeah, so it must be bigger than... it must be. Yeah. Steven Crowder is, I guess, on YouTube. Maybe that's his main thing. I have no idea. Okay. My assumption is that it's bigger. That's why they were thinking of combining. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
And anyway, he went through all of these nitty gritty things of this contract. And then the Daily Wire responded being like, that's not really what it is. Explain the contract. And a lot of people sided with Daily Wire being like Steven Crowder's being, dramatic,
ridiculous.
Whatever.
Yeah.
People saying that he's just saying it for clout or drama, whatever. So that initially happened. And Candace Owens, our favorite person,
I love her,
happens to be also part of Daily Wire.
Yeah.
So she made this like video because she's on the Daily Wire or whatever. And also all these conservative people, because they're conservative, they have so much money because a lot of these conservative, because the one thing about conservatives is that they're rich as fuck, right? Because they got a lot of donors, people that have a lot of money that want to.
Typically and again, this isn't the case for all conservatives, but typically part of the reason someone is conservative is they own a business or they're like a very successful entrepreneur because they believe in capitalism. They believe in not paying taxes because they're making so much money and they don't want it taken away from them.
Exactly. And also a lot of these giant corporations, maybe they're not following environmental guidelines because they want to make more money.
Yeah.
So so a lot of this is why conservatives are rich, essentially, right? All these people. Anyways, so because if you look at like left-wing media on YouTube and stuff, all their sets are like, looks like it was handmade, like fucking
like ours.
Yeah, exactly. Like the background has been like 10 years old, like nothing's updated. You could tell like liberal media has like no money. We're talking about left-wing media. Anyways, so Candace Owens jumps in and then I remember she said something along those lines of Steven Crowder, he's going through a lot. I can't say exactly what it is, but so she insinuated that there was something going on behind the scenes that she had information about. So she almost kind of, like a little bit of a slight threat potentially because she's kind of like wanting to expose him, but she's saying, but I think we should all be praying for him, know? Now,
backhanded,
I think later on, recently, Steven Crowder, I think he's the one that made a video basically being like, Candace Owens has been extorting me because she knows that I'm going through a divorce, which people did not know about. Anyways, so he's going through a divorce right now. He comes out with a video saying, I'm going through this divorce. I did not want this divorce. He says some crazy shit like, in the state of Texas, divorce is legal. And people are like, yeah, it's legal. Yeah. He's like, and she wants to not be married anymore. And in the state of Texas, that is allowed. And everyone's like, yeah, it's allowed to divorce someone if you don't want to be married to them anymore. Yes. Yeah. A woman has that choice. Clearly, if he wanted to, he wants to make that outlawed. Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
So fucking crazy.
He's insane. And then so he like does this whole video about how he loves this woman. It was not his idea and blah, blah, blah. That comes out, and then of course Candace Owens fires back, and she's like, "I'm writing a cease and desist. What is that fucking cease and
desist?
Desist, blah blah blah, and like I was not extorting him, blah blah blah, all this drama.
Yeah,
and then this video comes out that his wife, I think his wife leaked it.
Yeah,
his wife or his ex-wife leaked a video, and it looks like it was taken on like a security camera in his home. Did you see this?
No.
Oh. And he is like not physically abusing his wife,
but like yelling,
but not necessarily yelling, but the things that he was saying was like very controlling and just like,
well, that doesn't surprise me in the least.
Nobody is surprised.
Exactly. If he's like saying like, oh, like she's allowed to leave me.
Exactly.
You're like, okay, what kind of man are you?
Based on everything that he's been saying for the last few years, am I surprised? Absolutely not. But I felt
to
bad
see
for
it like reinforces.
I know, and I felt so bad for this woman because she's fucking pregnant as hell.
Yeah.
She was pregnant with his twins apparently.
Oh my God.
She's like just like trying. I don't know. They show it in like the middle of this conversation, and he's like, I mean, I'll give him one thing. He's definitely not faking it for views because some of the things he was saying was like, you're not performing your wifely duties. And basically she's trying to leave. She's trying to be like, I want to
get the fuck out because you're fucking crazy.
I'm taking the car. And then he's like, you're not taking the car because if you take the car, then I can't do anything. And then everyone's like, why do you have only one car when you live in this giant mansion?
Yeah. And they're millionaires.
You're multimillionaires. You probably live in Texas where everyone has fucking multiple cars. Why do you have one car?
You know why he has one car?
To control her.
Exactly.
So then she's like trying to leave and he's like not letting her leave. And she even straight up says, I can't take this abuse anymore. And he's just like, watch it. Not even denying it. Because come on. If somebody says, I can't take your abuse, if you're not abusing that person, you'd be like,
what are you talking about?
Shit, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah.
What do you mean abuse? Like, I'm not abusing you. I'm just talking to you. He clearly knows he's abusing her. And then, So basically, I think one of the arguments was that she was not giving, I guess the dogs needed some kind of medication and he expected her to give them the medication while he's just sitting there smoking a cigar or whatever.
Typical men.
And then, no, typical Steven fucking Crowder.
Yeah, typical Steven Crowder. Yeah, not all men.
So a lot of men would step up and do it, right?
Yeah, true.
And she's pregnant. And the reason why she wasn't doing it is because she was afraid that the chemicals from I don't know what it was. Maybe it was like an ointment or something.
And maybe also she has to bend over more.
Yes, she's a pregnant lady. Like, she's pregnant as hell. And she's like, she thought the chemicals might be bad for the pregnancy, which, hey, it could be. Yeah. Pregnancy is, a lot of things are bad for pregnancy.
During pregnancy.
And then he just kept going on. He's like, in order to be a wife, like a good wife, you should be giving the medication. Why are you not doing that? Like all this crazy shit. That went out. And now that's now that's gone out and shit's now really hit the fan. And then Candace Owens, of course, because it fits her narrative. And she made a whole video. That was probably the one video I agree with her on.
Yeah.
Where I was like, yep, that's definitely abusive.
Yeah.
So now shit's at the fan.
Fuck. I mean, again, not condoning any of this, but like,
of course,
does it surprise me that Steven Crowder is verbally abusive to his wife?
No, not surprising at all.
I've seen his videos, like even the way he is, like when he was on that debate again with Sam Cedar, just the way that he was like double down, like not double down, but like was so aggressive and so crazy. I'm like, imagine what he'd be like in a relationship.
Exactly.
Like it doesn't surprise. It's not like shocking to me that this has happened. I mean, it's still shocking.
Yeah.
But it's not. It would be more shocking if it was somebody that like you didn't really expect.
Exactly. It's like when I saw that video, I was like, obviously it was like, whoa, but also it's him, and I'm like, yep.
Checks out.
Not too shocking.
No.
This is why I feel like some people think politics is not important. I don't know. Some people think it's not as important. Like some people think you can have different political views, and maybe some couples can if your political views aren't extreme.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty extreme left wing, so I can never. If a guy has conservative on his profile, it's an immediate no.
See, that's interesting because I'm not like that.
Really? You don't mind a conservative man?
I mean, obviously, it's not my ideal. I would rather someone be liberal, but like at the end of the day, like
there's no one out there in a 160 kilometer radius.
When you're dealing with two men in a 160 kilometer radius, Daniel, you don't have much.
Politics are incredibly important.
I mean, yes,
because it's how we view
society and
life, and how it's our values, right? It's not just people think it's just politics. Politics is literally how we view.
What we value in society.
Exactly. What we value. Do we value just money and power and, being a good wife?
I would be a good wife, Rose.
God damn, Daniel.
No, I'm kidding.
Based on what, Daniel?
Based on my inability to plan, inability to cook, clean, timing.
Like I always say, in so many ways, you're like a 16-year-old girl, but also in so many ways, you're such a typical man.
I am, yeah. It's a weird dichotomy, isn't it?
Daniel, because like the stereotype of the gay man is like, they have this like beautifully interior designed home that is like spotless and like it's.
Some of us do.
Some of us, yeah, I know a lot of gay men that have like very nice homes.
Some people have like curated looks, like you go into their house and you're like, ooh.
Oh, a gay man, like a gay couple's home is like my dream.
And then my house.
You're going to have to meet like a stereotypical gay man with very good taste and design choices.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
It's not that you don't have... No, I don't think you would have good design choices. I'm sorry.
No, but like honestly, my place is not that bad. It's
it's not bad. But it's like me. Like, I don't have like a design eye.
Exactly. Like both of us, it's like you come into our house and it's like comfy, functional. Yes. But it's not like, for example, like my aunt and uncle's house.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Exactly. My aunt and uncle both work in fashion. They're very like
good at
that stuff, and they like interior design the shit out of their house, and it looks like something out of a magazine. Like it really does. Like every moment and piece is thought of, but I can't do that.
I know. I just have no patience.
I know. I have no patience, and also I just don't have an eye. Like some people naturally have an eye for it. Like one of my good friends here, she is like so good at this stuff. Like she redid her bathroom recently and it looks incredible. It's like really funky how she's done it and stuff. And like, again, I'm like, I always tell her, I'm like, I wish I had your eye, because I just don't.
This is, I guess, why people hire interior designers.
Another thing for us to spend our money on, Rose.
Oh God, it's more and more stuff.
I know, I can't afford it. I can't afford life, guys. Life is getting too expensive.
Everything's so expensive.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Apparently, we have to be a conservative commentator to make all that money.
To make millions.
Can you imagine? Like 50 million.
I know.
Turning that down means he's already making a shit ton of money.
But like, I don't understand why you turn that down, because could he not still do his current show that he does?
Because he didn't like some of the fine print. Like, for example,
maybe there was like you're not allowed to do your show or something.
No, but the point was, I think the show goes under the network of Daily Wire.
So
then instead of being paid, for example, right now, his show is independent.
So he gets paid all the revenue.
So basically what's happening right now is he gets the YouTube revenue, right?
Yeah.
Directly.
Yeah.
But I think when you get signed to a network, they might give you a certain salary and then they keep your revenue or something along those lines.
Yeah.
I don't exactly know, but I mean, 50 million is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. I doubt that he was making that much.
Yeah, because 50 million over 3 years, what is that? Like 20...
a shit ton of money.
Like
almost 20 a year?
Almost 20 million a year, right? Like a bit under that, but like 17-ish.
Like, it's insane.
Yeah, and it's like...
And you're running a fucking talk... I'm sorry. You don't need that much money.
No. And also it's like I can almost guarantee that, I mean, I don't know for sure, but his own revenue from YouTube wouldn't be that much.
No, but I assume that he probably gets like sponsored by...
So would the sponsorships go to the main company then as well?
I don't know exactly. I don't know the nitty gritty, but clearly he didn't sign it. So
yeah, it's interesting.
There's a lot of money to be made in that conservative space. Should we go full conservative?
Should we change this to the Conservative SaVeg podcast? The SaVeg Conservative podcast.
God damn. And like a lot of people are just, drinking that conservative Kool-Aid.
Oh God. Oh God.
I know. The pendulum is swinging back.
God damn. And on that positive note, Rose. God damn.
No more stories.
No more.
No more.
We're done for today, Rose.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm tired.
God damn, you don't want to talk anymore?
I'll be tired as hell.
God damn. And then after we record this, we're gonna keep talking for another hour, aren't we?
Oh, God dang. You gonna walk me some other way?
Yeah, we can walk. Oh my God, it's so nice out nowadays.
It is beautiful.
You guys, summer, I can't get anything done. I'm fucked.
You know what else I want to do after this chat? After this call, we have to do two things.
What do we have to do?
We have to do, you have to show me that chat. GPT. And then we also have to find those celebrities that have been swapped with AI.
Okay.
So we have some things to do after this podcast, guys. So
very important things.
Exactly.
That we got to get done.
On that positive note, guys, we hope you enjoy the rest of your week. We hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, guys, if you're watching this video on YouTube, give it a thumbs up. Show us some love in the comment section down below and hit that subscribe button if you're not following already. If you are listening on your favorite podcast platform, don't forget to hit that follow. You get updated as soon as there's new content out there. And of course, guys, check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/TheSaVeg Podcast for exclusive content and all ad-free content and a week earlier than everyone else. And last thing I'm going to say, guys.
Well, no. Another thing about the Patreon.
Yeah.
It's us, the recent one, guys, remember. It's us complaining about everything and it's golden. If you like hearing people complain, listen. Okay?
Yes. And it's more raw.
And the last thing.
Unfiltered.
Yes. The last thing is... What is it, Daniel?
The last thing is, guys, if you haven't signed up, but you're contemplating joining us on a trip in Bali or Thailand or both, check out the links in the show notes. It gives you the full itinerary, the whole shebang. It's going to be some awesome trips. I know Rose talked about it in her Instagram stories, but we are going to the island of Koh Phi Phi. Koh Phi Phi, which is beautiful. It's amazing.
I'm so excited.
I can't wait to be on a beach, guys.
And also, the Bali trip is almost sold out. I think there's only 3 or 4 spots left.
Damn, guys. If you want to go to Bali, you better hurry up.
Thailand has a few more spots. Yeah. I don't know why it's not as many people signing up for Thailand, because Thailand is amazing.
And the Thai food.
And we're gonna go to Phuket. We're going to Bangkok, and we're going to go Koh Phi Phi, which is one of my favorite spots in Thailand. It's so beautiful.
I'll be excited as hell.
Oh my God, it's gonna be so good. I'm so excited. So, guys, if you want to join us in Thailand or Bali, both preferably, check out the links in the show notes. Yeah. And that's pretty much it.
That is.
Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.